Okay, so just to give a perspective, this is the road up to Mount Alvernia or Como Hill, and so we just essentially came off the main road that's next to the police station and BTC, and that is Mount Alvernia up there, all the way up there. So you could imagine this back in the day being a dirt road, because this is now paved. Okay, and someone walking bare feet from out on the main road, walking this dirt road to go up to that thing all the way up on top of the hill, the highest point in the whole Bahamas, essentially 200 feet, and going this road to get to that bare feet. I can't even imagine that. But the journey continues. And in typical Cat Island style, we gotta go on the side of the road. So this would have had to be the route that the Hermit of Cat Island took to get up here to his place. So this is Mount Alvernia that we are at now, or Como Hill. To God most good, most great, and in honor of St. Francis, this mountain is sacred. Okay? Mount Alvernia. And if you come right here and you look back, you get a good perspective of where we have traveled. That's the sea next to the road out there. I have to figure that out in meters or feet. But one thing is for sure, that's at least a good 700-800 meters to the water out there. So this would have been the original entrance from Mount Alvernia, and the Cat Islanders call this the difficult part, because if you go to my left, right that way, you can go around, and it's actually an easier path. Stations of the cross. That'll be your first one. And then up this way, your next station. And look like Mount Alvernia went to the goats. I don't see no sheep. All I see is goats. Next one. And there we go. Don't know how he did it. Climbing that every day or every other day. That must have been an excellent workout. And the goats shall lead the way. Check this out. Next station. Careful. That was a climb. I'm sweating just from that climb. Cat Island on the whole is hot. And to come up here every day to a place that you call home must have been incredible. Just constructing this alone must have been incredible. For the most part, what I'm looking at is this whole thing seemed to be constructed by hand. I'm sure back in the day there was no crane system to be at the base of the hill to swing anything up and pass anything up, so all these supplies or whatever he needed would have had to been brought up here either by donkeys or horse. Now, as I'm told by some of the older people from this area who are in their 80s, one lady was in her 90s who I spoke with, their thing was, back in the day, everyone in this area had like 2 horses. So I'm assuming that whatever was brought here was pulled on wagons and brought by horses. So this must have been a task. According to the history, it took 2 years to finish off this place. Like I said, this is just simply a wonder and a sight to behold. So as the saying goes, and the signs are here to clearly commemorate everything and to show you the history. It said that he celebrated the first Mass on the 12th, 1940. And it said that he essentially, before Mass, prayed for this place, the grounds, and he also burned the leaves and used the ashes, and he sprinkled the ground with holy water. Okay? Now I don't know how tall or short Father was, but he made sure that you bowed with every door. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. Let's go. And from here you get an excellent view. And so the way this is constructed, there are stairs that are leading down and then coming back, and it's designed with the normal curvature of the rock. So I'm about to go down these steps into another part of the structure. So here I go down these steps through a narrow hallway. And in here it looks like a furnace of some sort. And there's a door opening here. Said when I did my research on the Hermitage, that this would have been actually the first structure that was built. This is a 2,000 gallon water catchment that was built to catch water, I guess for drinking, bathing, and in his case building the structure up top here for the construction. So when you really look at it, what could I say? He was a genius. He realized that if you don't have water, you really can't do anything. I don't care what material you bring up here, workers, animals, what you bring up here, you definitely need water. And Cat Island is a place that's challenged for water. Even now, Cat Island is still challenged for water. So, like I said, he was a genius. We are just leaving the Hermitage, and this pathway here is what they call the easy way. I don't know where that name came from. I guess some of the Cat Islanders who came here and decided to cut a road the back way to get to the Hermitage, or maybe this was always here, I don't know. And it was just widened to accommodate vehicular traffic or bringing supplies up here. They call this the easy way, and it's much easier than climbing that cliff-like structure that the goats seem to have mastered as compared to human. This is the easy way. So we're taking the easy way out. I ain't climbing back down the hill. Whew, let's stop. You know what I wanted to ask you? The priest. They tell me he used to be walking around Cat Island.
Yeah. That you mean the Catholic?
Yeah.
The other side of...
the Hermitage.
They were children. Yeah. Because I remember Cousin Carrie's daughter, Adeline and Isabel, just come down to the church in the morning up there. They have a dwelling home beside the church up here.
Where he used to have church. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The church used to be to different settlements. If you take right now, them boys just go out at 9 o'clock, service for hour.
And so I left Miss Olive Dawkins with yet more questions. What did the church look like that Father Jerome held Mass at in Port Howe, and was it still standing? Inquiring minds wanted to know. Port Howe was a beauty, and I could see why Father Jerome fell in love with the community and decided that the first Catholic community of Cat Island should be started there. After a bit of map reading and slow driving, I located the church through a small dirt road. The church was still very much operational and the history well intact, with the original 26-inch cracked bell brought in from Freetown still in the yard. Another marvel of how time has stood still on Cat Island. In January of 1941, Howe purchased a parcel of land in Freetown for a church, and in March commenced clearing for a foundation. The church was built in 2 stages, with the completion of the first stage that very year. There was a major setback, as on October 5th, 1941, a hurricane with winds up to 200 miles per hour struck. The destruction delayed the first Mass by 6 weeks. The second stage was completed in 1948. The church remained the most well-preserved to date. Then it was off again to locate St. Francis in Old Bight that was built in 1945. At the time of construction, Father Howe was already 68 years old, past retirement age for most of us, and insisted on doing the masonry work himself. The contribution made by Father Howe to construction and architecture is world-renowned. It's no wonder that he has a whole museum dedicated in his honor and the work that he has done in his field. He was born John Cyril Howe. Some called him Father Jerome. To Cat Islanders, he was simply known as the Hermit of Cat Island. Until next time, just keep exploring and learning.